Today, I want to talk about the fastest way to get rich. The fastest way to get rich is to marry and then divorce a billionaire. That's the fastest way to get rich. But that eliminates me and probably most of you. So we'll throw that one out. The real fastest way to get rich today is selling a product or service. Now is the best time in history to sell a product or service. I did learn something in college. I went to college one semester 30 years ago, and I took an economics class, and she said that everybody has something to sell, labor. Unless you're disabled in some fashion, you can sell your labor. And that's why labor is so cheap, because there's like 8 billion laborers on the planet, give or take. And so that's why labor is like $10 an hour. Or if you go to other countries, it's 50 cents an hour. So you're selling your labor and time. It's because it's supply and demand. There's so much labor out there that labor's, unless you're a star NBA player, it's going to be worth like 10 or 12 bucks an hour, unless you have a skill. So just selling your labor is not going to get you rich, obviously. People throughout history have gotten rich by selling products or services. The problem is getting people to know about your product and to actually buy your product costs a lot of money. Advertising is a huge, huge mega business, and it costs money to advertise. Well, in today's social media age and internet and cell phone age, advertising is free. You can reach the entire planet for free. And this is how you get rich quick. You have a product or service, especially a digital product, something that's duplicated very easily as opposed to like building a car or building a house. You can upload a video to YouTube and get 1 billion views. You make a video, maybe you put 10 hours of work into it, that can be viewed millions or billions of times. It's easily duplicated. I've been watching Gary V too, Gary VEE, and he talks about this a lot. He says it rather meanly, but he says, everybody has a cell phone. I'm talking to my cell phone now. I'll show you, but almost everyone on the planet has a cell phone now, and this cell phone is a multi-million-dollar business. He talked about somebody that the Smurfs was an '80s cartoon of these little blue guys, and guy makes $100,000 a year just doing Smurf stuff, talking about the Smurfs and putting up a Smurf webpage, and makes 6 figures a year. I was watching this interview with Raking Profits once, and he interviewed this lady. I think she made $10,000 a month. She had a knitting page on Facebook. She sold knitting plans, and she's making a fortune just talking about knitting. I found this guy. I chatted with him a little bit. He sells vintage ink pens. He makes $100,000 a year selling vintage ink pens. I went to a Shopify site, really nice photos. And these are like the old ink pens from the 30s and 40s, and they were really cool, Then I just stumbled onto Mr. Beast. This is one of the top YouTubers. I know I'm way behind the times, but this guy's like 22 years old. I watched the video he made when he was in high school. He only had like 1,000 subscribers, and he said, I'm devoting my life to YouTube, and I want to have 1 million subscribers. I think he has 64 million right now. The guy's making at least 20 million a year, probably more, just on YouTube. And he's 22 years old, and he's just a normal guy. He's just like a normal guy next door with an average personality. He's nothing special. He just put the work in. He's making like 20 plus million a year on social media in various different ways. I read about this guy. He sells a message on a potato, making tons of money. And I went to his Shopify site. It's literally just you type in what you want, you put in the address he wants to send it to, and he literally handwrites the message on a potato and ships it to whoever you want to. Guy's making a killing with a message on a potato. There's a great channel called Cheap RV Living. This guy got divorced maybe 10 years ago, Bob, in his 60s, I think. Nice guy. Had to live in a van. Made a YouTube channel about living in a van. Now he's making, according to Social Blade, I don't know, $50,000 to $70,000 a year just on YouTube ad revenue. He also has all kinds of affiliate links and other products that he sells. And by the way, this is not about getting rich. necessarily, although we all, I mean, I want to get rich. A lot of people want to get rich. Really, I'd love to just replace my job and be my own boss. And now is the best time ever to do so. You have free distribution of your product. You have free advertising, free exposure. So how do you monetize this new media age? There's a lot of ways, and I'll name some videos later you can watch. But one is affiliate links. Where you send somebody to a business's website and you get a cut of whatever they spend over there. Sometimes it's rather lucrative in the thousands. Udemy is like you can take educational courses. Like let's say you know how to fix carburetors on these vintage cars. You could spend 10 hours making a video on how to fix carburetors and put it up for $20 for sale on Udemy, and maybe 1,000 people purchase it. That's $20,000 for 10 hours of work. And you can make hundreds of videos like that and sell them on an educational site like Udemy. Of course, you can be a social media influencer, which is basically where you're the product. People like your personality. They like whatever you do on social media. And there are websites where you can go and you can say, well, I have 100,000 followers here and 10,000 followers here. And businesses will bid on how much they're willing to pay you to mention their product in one of your social media posts. And this is big money. Hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars are made by social media influencers. If you don't want to show your face, or you don't feel like you're a very exciting person, you can do podcasts where it's just audio only. Podcasts are very lucrative. Once again, it's a digital product that you're replicating very easily. Anybody can just tune in, millions of people, and then you can find sponsors for the podcast. And there's all kinds of videos out there explain all the ways to monetize a podcast. You can do drop shipping on Spotify. Lots of people are buying these cheap products from China. They're paying $2, $3, $4 a piece. They're selling them for $40, $50 a piece. Of course, if you combine that with you have a TikTok page that's popular, or a landing page, or a YouTube channel, you can drive people to your Shopify page to buy these products. It's almost like your own QVC channel, almost. Another one is landing pages. A landing page is where you do a search for, carburetors, and you go to a page that says, oh, learn everything about carburetors. And really it just has a bunch of links to carburetor sites or pages, and it has some ads on it. And they also get affiliate money. So a landing page is just sort of a page to get you closer to where you want to go. And people make a lot of money on landing pages. And you don't have to show your face or anything. It's all behind the scenes. And then there's things like Patreon, where you can monetize and your even more videos and information easier than putting it out there for free. You can actually put it behind a paywall. People make a lot of money on Patreon. There's SEO optimization, which is search engine optimization, which you can do. That's really a part of all these other things, but that really applies to landing pages, especially where when people search for a term, your landing page shows up higher and higher in the search results. And then if you actually want to trade your labor and time and replace your boss, but not really get rich necessarily, you can find gig work on Upwork.com, and also Fiverr, Fiverr. And so how do you get rich fast? Well, I'll tell you what, I just listed a bunch of examples here, right? And I don't know you, and I don't know what's going to work for you, because everybody's different. But this is the gold rush. This is absolutely the time when everybody is empowered. Mark Cuban says everyone's a brand today. There's 8 billion brands, however many people there are on the planet, running around, and it's really up to you to brand yourself and to sell yourself. That's what a resume is. A resume is an advertisement for you. When you fill out a job application at McDonald's and it says, tell me about your past. How old are you? What's your name? Where have you worked before? Do you go to school? That's an advertisement for you. So everyone's a brand. And this is just kind of taking that to the next level. And the beautiful thing is that if you do want to put yourself out there a little bit like these people, you can be yourself. You can make $23 million a year like Mr. Beast just being yourself. He's himself. He's not pretending to be someone else. He's just an average, ordinary dude. He's himself. I mean, what better way to make money than just be who you are? But here's what I would do. Here's the plan. I would go onto YouTube or TikTok and I would type in how to get rich. I know that sounds silly, me making a video saying, hey, go watch other videos on how to get rich. But seriously, like spend a week binge watching all of these different ideas. I just listed a few, but there's all these different methods and paths you can take. And it's going to be up to you, the individual, to find out which one works for you. But just go down that rabbit hole and you'll be amazed. I mean, I stumbled on Sara Finance today. She makes like $600,000 a year. She's 19. She's 19 and she made this in like a year and a half, 2 years tops. I mean, amazing, staggering amounts of money are being made super quick on these social media platforms and Shopify and TikTok and YouTube. The amount of money being generated is staggering to me. And I just kind of really stumbled into this. I learned about it a few years ago, and I kind of forgot about it. It is shocking. So if you really want to get rich quick, I would binge watch YouTube or TikTok, but especially YouTube. Spend a couple hours a night for a solid week and just absorb this information. It'll blow your mind. And you won't want to go back to work again. But then after the week, narrow it down to what works for you. Which of these methods involving the new era of social media and ways to sell yourself and ways to sell a product or services and ways to advertise that for free. By the way, that might not always be free. Like Facebook charges now. And they own Instagram. Instagram's free for now. But they may start charging to start advertising on these sites. But for now, it's free if you just put the time in. But spend a week and binge watch and learn all these different ways that these people are just making staggering amounts of money at a young age and with really no experience. And then narrow it down and find your path and then do it. That's the difference. You have to actually do it. Like I quit my job 6 days ago. I started this channel, I think like 8 or 9 days ago. And I just watched enough Gary V-E-E. And he keeps yelling at people. He's like, hey, just hit record on your phone, turn it on and talk into it and put it out there. It's free. Like, why are you not doing this? That's what he keeps. And I'm like, okay, Gary, I'll do this. I'll do this, Gary. I'll turn on my phone. I'll hit record. I'm talking to it. I'll go watch some YouTube videos and absorb information. And here I am. Right now I have no subscribers, and that's fine. This is my third YouTube channel I've tried. These algorithms are not going to reward you until you have, 10, 20, 30 videos up. Okay. They need to see you're invested, that you're consistent, that you're really doing this. It's not just a whim and you're going to put up one video and never do it again. So you're going to be out there by yourself, like I am right here, talking into my phone in my basement. But after a while, it could be 6 months, it could be a year, you're going to have some opportunity to monetize whatever it is you're selling, whatever product or service, or even your personality, your way of talking, your way of thinking. This is the gold rush. This is real. This is easier to start and get a business up and running and profitable than I've ever seen. And I'm in my 50s and I've started 6 small businesses over the years. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. And if you want to get rich fast, put down the entertainment, YouTube, put down the video games for a week. Type in how to get rich in YouTube and just start binge watching the videos that the algorithm feeds you. Absorb all this information, process it, funnel it down into something that works for you, and then just start. And you should be able to start for free. And it's going to take you a while. Some people might be making a living in 6 months. Some people might take 6 years, but it'll be worth it. I mean, there's people making millions of dollars that are 20, 22, 19, 17 years old. And older too. I mean, you can be any age, but these younger people really have an advantage because they grew up with this stuff. In my generation, we're not even on TikTok yet. My generation's behind the curve. We still think, hey, go to college, get a job. That's the old way. That's the old way of doing things. This is the new way. And this is really the new way. Anyway, you can get rich really, really easily and fast nowadays. This is the gold rush. Anyway, tough love, Tom. I'll catch you next time. Thanks.